Yes, you're going to be shocked when you learn who Ted Cruz's puppet masters really are. Renowned investigator Kurt Nemo has a scathing piece out this week for Prison Planet that rips the curtain off the rails and exposes Ted Cruz's true puppet masters. That's right, Kurt Nemo reports it is not simply his wife's connection to Goldman Sachs and investment banking or his unreported loan from the multinational investment firm, however, that betrays his image. A closer look at Cruz reveals he is a neocon insider, not a renegade outsider as he claims. His campaign manager, Chad C. Sweet, co-founded the Chertoff Group with former Bush and Obama administration Secretary of Homeland Security Michael Chertoff. Sweet, as a leader of the Chertoff Group, advocated for expanding NSA metadata collection according to his bio on the Risk Management and Security Consulting's website, company's webpage. Cruz, his foreign policy advisor, is the notorious neocon James Woolsey, the former director of the CIA during the Clinton administration. Woolsey is connected to the now largely defunct Project for the New American Century. Yes, folks, PNAC. We all know what that means. Well, if you don't, Nemo continues here. He says it's a think tank with an agenda formulated by top neocons William Kristol and Robert Kagan. PNAC was at the forefront of the Bush administration push to invade Iraq. He is a former vice president of the defense contractor Booz Allen Hamilton and an advocate of the neocon hardline of Iran. Nemo continues here in this scathing piece. He writes, Ted's foreign policy team includes Elliot Abrams, a senior fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations, and the son-in-law of Norman Podhoretz, a trailblazing neoconservative ideologue. Abrams was a key advisor on Mideast policy at the National Security Council, the NSC, during the George W. Bush presidency, and also a staunch advocate of the Iraq invasion, the hardline on Iran, and military strikes against the government of Bashar al-Assad in Syria. Finally, the man in charge of public relations for the Cruz campaign, Nemo exposes here in this amazing article, is Dan P. Gabriel, a former CIA covert action officer and founding partner of Applied Memetrics, a company focused solely on developing engineered influence for clients seeking to alter their tactical or strategic operational environments. And that's according to its webpage. The company specializes in propagating memes that can move through a cultural sociosphere in a manner similar to a contagious behavior of a virus. Nemo concludes here, he says, in other words, Applied Memetrics specializes in propaganda. Now, let's look at that, just from that last part there. This propaganda company that his marketing guy works for. What happened? Right before Iowa, Cruz's campaign puts out a mass email. They state that Carson is bailing out of the race. Everybody needs to jump over to Cruz, right? That thing set through wildfire, and a lot of Carson's support evaporated and jumped over to Cruz. I will bet you $1 million that I don't have that it was that guy, Abrams, who came up with that concept, put it out into the social media sphere to bring those votes over using deceptive tactics. Of course, the guy's CIA trained. What do you think? I mean, that's what they do, right? So, if you guys think that Ted Cruz is, some kind of Tea Party, outsider, and I mean, the guy is so fake. You can see it. It like pours out of him. Like he is perfectly scripted, central casting chameleon. I mean, you saw the report that I did. It's still going viral now. The one that exposes him and his wife to be the next president of the North American Union. My friends, if this guy becomes president of the United States, you can guarantee what will happen. And that is the North American Union will be pushed forward. If this guy wins the second term, through the timeline that I basically reverse engineered from the creation of the European Union, in his second term, the North American Union will have been solidified. Now, it may not be like an like, oh, they might not just come out and erase the borders outright, but the point is that it will continue to move forward. So there's a lot to consider here. If you're a Cruz supporter, you need to understand these facts and the puppet masters behind him. He is not who he says he is, and you need to be aware. Now, do yourself a favor, do this country a favor, do any Ted Cruz supporter a favor, and send this video to them in an email, send it to them on Twitter, send it to them on Facebook, wherever you can send this to them. They need to understand who Ted Cruz is and why he is actually a threat to U.S. sovereignty. Well, he comes around and he's rah-rah, Constitution this, Constitution that. He's so far from it because his puppet masters show it. Okay, the proof is in the people who pull his strings. So what are your thoughts? Leave your comments below. Hit the subscribe button for updates. If you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up. And like I said, hit that share button. Push this out to your social networks and tell a Cruz supporter the truth who's pulling this guy's strings. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi.